Good evening, Eastvale. Welcome to the first edition of Eastvale Crime Watch and Reporting Live. I'm Don Pettinger. And before we get into our show, what we were going to talk about and everything, we've been asked by the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department and the Chino Hills Police Department to share something with you that's rather important. This gentleman right here, Eric Chavarera, 24 of Chino, was arrested yesterday. And while they had him in custody at the Sheriff's Department, somehow he was able to escape. He's wanted for burglary and possession of stolen property. If you see this gentleman, if you could please reach out to the Chino Hills Police Department at 909-364-2000. That's 909-364-2000. If you have any information about him. If you just happen to see him, feel free to call 911 and refer them to the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department or Chino Hills PD, and they will get back with you on that. So, welcome to the first edition of Eastvale Crime Watch and Reporting Live, and this show is designed to really provide extra information to the residents of our fine city. We're going to be talking about a plethora of topics over the weeks to come. Currently, our show is going to be on Thursday night. I know we're up against Thursday night football, and it's at 7:30. So we might be asking you to kind of tell us, is this the right time that we should be doing for this show? Now, I do know that you can watch it later on, but I think one of the great things is being able to watch it live. You know, we started Eastvale Crime Watch and Reporting about 3 years ago, and this page has turned into be a very successful tool within the city. We have almost 10,000 active members on our page, and I really need to give a big thanks to Mike Gaten, G. Goot, David Ruggio, and Eric Martin, who are my co-admins. And I tell you what, this is a labor of love running this page. And I want you to know that we do not accept every single person who signs up to be on the crime page. We only have about a 48% ratio of accepting those individuals who want to sign up. So as we move forward, we're going to be discussing, is this the proper format to put the page on, since not, or the live show on, since we're not going to allow everybody on here. We might be transferring the show to our page where anybody can watch that, because the information that we are going to be sharing is going to be vital for our entire community, and that's what we want to do. You know, we have some other great segments that are be lined up for you as we go into the future. One of those is called Motor Mark, and Motor Mark is a retired veteran of one of the local police departments who has over 25 years in traffic, and it's going to be a great opportunity for you to type in questions, ask him questions about traffic laws and everything that's going on in the community. So that's going to be one of our segments. Another segment we're going to have is called 60 Seconds to Survive. We're going to be giving you helpful information about things you can do to survive different types of issues that might take place within the community. And that could be anywhere from a fire to an earthquake to a gas leak, you name it, or maybe an attack of killer mosquitoes. But we'll be looking at a whole bunch of different things that we can do to help our community. One of the big things that's coming forward is Neighborhood Watch 2.0. And, you know, that's something we're extremely proud of in this community, is our Neighborhood Watch program. If you quote Sheriff Chad Bianco, he says he knows of no other neighborhood watch program in the entire community that is anything like us. And it speaks for itself. We have 29 different neighborhoods, and every neighborhood is represented. We've had a number of captains meetings, and it's been really successful. In addition, you know, we've created a logo for our Neighborhood Watch program, and it's really a special thing that we're able to get out there. And today with me on the show, I brought two special individuals who have been here since day one as we started to put Neighborhood Watch together. So this is going to be kind of unique. This is going to be kind of like a new Neighborhood Watch meeting. So if you're already a member of Neighborhood Watch, pay attention and listen to the show. You might pick up a couple of extra things. If you're not a member of your local Neighborhood Watch, I think this is something that you really want to get involved with. So anyway, as we go here, I just accidentally hit a wrong button, and you see Brandon's smiling face right there for a second. We're going to have a couple individuals on the show, and that's going to be Mayor Todd Rigby. He's been an integral part of Neighborhood Watch since the very beginning, and along with Todd, Brandon Plott, the Mayor Pro Tem. These individuals have worked the Neighborhood Watch program as individual residents, not as council members. They really started laying the groundwork for this before they joined the city council. And that's what's so special about this entire thing is their passion for Neighborhood Watch as we continue to move forward. So let me take a moment here and try to bring the two gentlemen on. Brandon and Todd, are you guys there?
We are.
Yeah, here we are. We're ready.
Great. Well, we're glad to have you on the show. I just need to put in my earpiece here so that I can hear you guys. Let's see here. Brandon, tell me about that phone call that you made to Todd that very first day to start talking about Neighborhood Watch.
Yeah, I didn't know who Todd was at the time, but we had a lot of mutual friends that I had grown up with, and they later became friends with Todd, and so I just asked questions to my friends. Hey, who is this Todd? I know he's running in another district, and they said, yeah, I'll connect you with him. So I ended up just getting his number and reaching out to him and saying, hey, just a heads up, I'm running for city council, but I'm not in your district, so you don't have to worry about me, competing with you. And I just wanted to sit down and kind of share some ideas and also his ideas. And one of the things we started talking about for a quiet length, probably about 2.5 hours, was public safety. And it started morphing into, hey, Neighborhood Watch. And it kind of morphed into, well, hey, what if we organize the Neighborhood Watch instead of making it arbitrary, just connecting neighbors and that's just it? And said, why don't we build some type of backbone and structure behind it? And that was basically, is instead of looking at Neighborhood Watch just very simplistically, let's make it very organized to where captains can be supported and captains can be, we can help them through the process to help build them. And when captains move out or it doesn't happen as life, that's what happens. We'll be there to kind of pick up the slack and find new captains. And so there's always sustainability. And what if we did this? And at the time, it was like, well, what if I do this in my district and I'll help you do it in your district? I necessarily wasn't seeing this, if I could be honest, I wasn't seeing the vision citywide. And that's where I think Todd and Don, I gotta give you credit, that's where you guys kind of helped me see that vision, seeing it citywide. And it's evolved. I mean, it seems like every month it evolved to something different and better. And here we are, and everything's been completed. That's kind of a very short version of it. But that's kind of in essence how it kind of panned out from the beginning.
So, Todd, tell us a little bit about what you envisioned from that first phone call.
Well, I wasn't too sure. Like I said, I was still taken back with the shock of Brandon calling me. Who is this guy? I have no clue who he is. What's his agenda? Why is he getting a hold of me? But once we had that phone call, and it was actually, we had the phone call, and then he came over to my house and we chatted for a while. And I don't know, we just hit it off. I mean, it's one of those things that we hit it off, and we had a lot of things in common that we wanted to do. And we, like Brandon said, we had a lot of mutual friends too. So as we started to discuss things, we left that night knowing that, hey, we can do something together and we can change the city, improve this city together. And that was one thing that we found early on, and Neighborhood Watch is one of those things that we've done to help improve our city.
Very good. So, Todd, did you picture we would get this far in just under 2 years?
So as Brandon shared, when we originally started the Neighborhood Watch program, I thought, okay, if we're going to do this, I'm going to do it in my neighborhood first. So let's go ahead and let's have just a Neighborhood Watch meeting. So did the old-fashioned way, had the Neighborhood Watch meeting. In fact, Brandon's wife came. Brandon wasn't able to make it. His wife came. We had about 12 people there. And I thought, wow, this is great. I got to meet some of my neighbors. I got to meet 11 people plus Brandon's wife. So great, we're on a good start. And then that was when I thought, there's got to be something more to this. And that's when I went back, and I think Brandon's wife probably went back to him and told him too that, hey, they had 12 people there. And that's when we all started figuring out, what can we do better? How can we make this more effective? And that's when Don, Brandon, and also Hope, that was originally helping us with this, that has since moved out of state, that we started doing this. And as we started implementing it, we thought, okay, how long is it going to take? We want to get this out there. And I don't mean to call Brandon out, but Brandon thought, what was it? What was it? 2 years?
2 years.
Or something
Yeah,
that you
I
said?
said, oh, at least 2.5 years.
And Don and I were like, no, we're going to get it done in about a year. And Brandon was like, there's no way. There's no way we can do that. And I think during that time, Brandon, Don, and I got to know each other better than our wives got to know us, because it was, almost 2 times a week we were out at a neighborhood
Absolutely.
watch meeting. But to answer your question, Don, I had no idea it would get to be where it is today and as successful it is. I think, real quick, the success is, we've implemented it, and we'll talk a little bit about all that, but the success is truly from our community. It's truly from those people that are involved in the Neighborhood Watch program, those captains that we have. So it's the true success is credit to them. We're just the ones that started it. They're the ones that have taken it and just ran with it.
Absolutely. Right now, guys, I'm going to bring up some stats and show the group that you might not be able to see. But what the stats are saying is that we have 29 different zones in our Neighborhood Watch program. We have 65 captains. We had over 155 people show up to a city-wide Neighborhood Watch meeting that was recently held at the Civic Center. We've had over 1,691 citizens or residents attend local Neighborhood Watch meetings in people's driveways. And right now, on the individual Neighborhood Watch pages, we're just shy of 5,000 members, 4,953 members. Do you guys want to talk to those numbers a little bit?
Sure. So just real quick on, I think some of the numbers cut out. So hopefully the audio and some of the numbers cut out. So hopefully everyone's able to see those stats.
I can go back to those.
Once again, going back to when we originally started this, I had no idea. I mean, we started not betting, but we started making just, hey, how many people do you think are going to show up to this? Okay, we were betting. We'll put it out there. But we were betting on how many people do you think we're going to get this Neighborhood Watch meeting? How many do you think? And as people kept showing up, it just amazed us. And same thing with this, the stats of just the Neighborhood Watch pages, just the involvement. I mean, it's like a wildfire. One of the things that Don has really talked about, for those of you that don't know, Don's in education by profession, and he taught us a new way of doing math. He said 2 + 2 = 5, and it's the rule of, you just sharing this with your neighbors. Neighbors on each side of you, that's 2. Neighbor on the front and back of you, that's 2 more, and then including you, that's 5. And that's how this is. I mean, that's how this has grown. Is just, these stats are amazing just to think of where we've come in these short 2 years.
Absolutely. Brandon, go ahead.
Yeah, if I can make a comment too, I think one of the things to success is hedging your bet on the residents, right? And I knew that, I think we all knew deep down inside the residents of Eastvale are extremely active and very supportive, and it's something like Neighborhood Watch they would embrace. So, when we did the first Neighborhood Watch in the Heartlands neighborhood, we marketed that out as a success, and then we did. I think the neighborhood that I'm in, the Northwest Eastvale Neighborhood Watch, and it just kind of started rolling. It started rolling, and then it was kind of like, well, hey, what about us? What about us? Before you know it, that hedging the bet on the residents started proving, because then people were like, hey, yeah, I want to do something about mailbox theft crime, right? If no one else is going to do about it, right? If the federal government's not going to do it, or the state, or whoever's not going to do, whatever jurisdiction's not going to do it, what are we going to do about it, right? Let's have more eyes out there. Let's have captains out there, and it just started kind of this just snowball effect. And again, it's really hedging the bet on. I don't know if this will work in every city, but I had a good feeling it would work here, just because of how active our social media groups are, how active residents are. You can kind of see that, hey, we could really utilize this. And kind of to take a kind of a negative and make it good is, anytime, 2 years ago, there was a lot of mailbox theft crimes. I mean, we were having 26 a month in 2017. And I think every time there was an announcement of a mailbox theft, it was creating energy for what are we going to do about it?
Absolutely.
And so we started building these neighborhood watch groups, getting eyes. And I think as you start to see the stat with 26 mailbox thefts, and you compare 2017 to 2018, where in 2018 we had on average six mailbox thefts a month. It's definitely not, the neighborhood watch is not the sole reason and purpose that the mailbox theft went down, but there's an absolute correlation. And it's the residents stepping up and saying, hey, we kind of want to take back our neighbors a little bit. I know that might be an over-aggressive statement, but we want to do something about this. And we just want to have eyes and ears. And we want to be able to see what we, be able to just to write what we see on a Facebook page and be able to make it more intimate for our residents. And I think you see the stats that are there, all the participation stats. Again, I can't see that, but I always like sharing the mailbox stuff because I think it is. Again, any statistician would say, hey, 26, 2017 average per month break-ins on custom mailboxes versus 6. Here's when the neighborhood watch program started taking off and was in full effect. Yeah, it's got something to do with it. I don't know how much, but it's got something to do with it.
Perfect.
And so that's a kudos to everyone that has been involved, all the participants, all the captains that have been involved. This is your program, right? We're just trying to help facilitate it, but it's absolutely your program, and you guys deserve the credit for it.
So I want to tell you folks how dedicated Todd is. Todd was on his way back, and many of you know that 91 freeway. There was no way he was going to make it back, so he pulled off, and he is at a Starbucks in Anaheim Hills, and that's the background noise that you are hearing right now with planes and different things like that.
And chairs being dragged across the area, kids running around, so I apologize.
No problem. Hey, Todd, why don't you take a moment, and I think one of the magic things that you guys touched briefly on that really sets this apart is those captains meetings. Tell them about the synergy that takes place in the captains meetings.
So one of the things that we created was in a neighborhood watch program, you really don't have a whole lot of structure typically around it. And one of the things that we knew is we needed captains to be able to run their neighborhoods, be able to manage their page, be able to decide when they have meetings, decide what kind of activities. It doesn't have to be a meeting. It could be an activity. It could be a barbecue. It could be out watching a movie as a neighborhood. So that's one thing that we set up was those captains, and the captains are volunteers. They're volunteers, people that step up in their neighborhood, and they want to be part of the solution. We have anywhere from, I'd say, minimum 2 captains, all the way up to some neighborhoods have 6 captains in them. But we have, one of the things that we want to do is, that we've been doing is we try and have a quarterly captain meeting where we share with the captains special information. We try and make it as valuable as we can. We know that their time is valuable, so we want to make sure that we're giving them information that they can take back and share with their neighborhood. We just recently had one, just earlier this week, and just shared some information with them. But some of the things that we share at these captains meetings, we try and have special speakers. We had Sheriff Chad Bianco there. We had our city manager that spoke at one. So we want to bring them information that comes from, for the most part, immediately within our community or entities that involve our community, such as the Sheriff's Department. And we'll continue to have these. That's what gives this program the backbone and gives this program the structure, is having those captains and having those captains meetings where we can continue to motivate them with information. But we also, one of the things that Brandon really shares during those is we continue to challenge them. We continue to put goals up there for them. It's not just a meeting just to share information, but it's a meeting to give them a goal. Okay, this is what we're asking. We're giving you a task. We need you to come back and report to us. First one was the neighborhood watch signs at the entrance, exit points of every neighborhood. We've been doing the database the camera database system, just different things like that. Right now, our big one is what are you doing as captains to help promote the neighborhood watch celebration that's next Friday? And I'm sure we'll chat about that in just a minute. But those meetings are very effective.
Absolutely. Brandon, why don't you tell individuals how they can actually get involved with Neighborhood Watch?
Yeah, I mean, either you can message. I mean, I think the easiest way is if, let's say, hey, I don't know what neighborhood I'm in, or I don't know who my captains are. I mean, you can message myself, Todd, or Dawn, and we'll be more than happy to guide you. I mean, I have a list of captains right here on a little Google Docs page we print it out in each neighborhood, and then also have the map right here of all the neighborhoods that are based on the boundaries of each neighborhood. So we can easily help you out. Figure that out. We can also post on the Dawn can post on the Crime Watch page. And so if you do want to get more involved, yeah, feel free to message us. We'll absolutely help see where you want to go. You simply just want to know, hey, what neighborhood watching in? What's the name of my Facebook page? We can help you. If you want to take it another step, you say, hey, I'd love to be a captain. Yeah, we'll introduce you to the other captains in your neighborhood, and we're always willing to accept more, right? All we're asking is that you're willing to be involved, right? And attend the quarterly the quarterly captains meeting, and just be involved, right? And so it's a constant grind just to constantly get the word out, because yeah, there's a lot of people that know about the Neighborhood Watch program, but there's a lot that don't know about it that live in Eastvale. And so that's kind of the key of marketing, right? You just have to constantly keep going and never stopping, so that the word is just constantly getting out. So we really, I definitely made a dent. I think we made a big dent, but we're definitely not there yet, right? I mean, the neighborhood watches are completed, but I'd like to see more membership, more activity, even more captains participate, because the more eyes you have out there, the more information that we can share with Riverside County Sheriff's Department, right, or Eastvale PD, we can share that with them, and share the video footage that maybe a doorbell camera scene or some CCTV camera scene or something that's posted, some information. It's a web of information that we all can share, and the more eyes and the more participants that are out there, and we're all connected, the more valuable information is there for RSO.
You know, what is really great as we're sitting here talking, Brandon, I did have the zone map up there, so individuals were able to kind of look. And what shows so special is, I'm looking at some of the comments here, I think we have some individuals who are highly involved in Neighborhood Watch asking people, what neighborhood do you reside in, and trying to help them out. So the zone map that I'm going to put up again right now for you, if you can't quite decipher where you are, don't hesitate, like Brandon said, to PM one of us, and we will definitely try to put you in touch with your captain. And also, most importantly, we want to get you hooked up to your local neighborhood page, because that's where it really starts. But even though we have our 29 zones, one of the real special things that we really like to get involved with is celebrations, where we reach out and we get to know each other better. And Todd, will you talk to them a little bit about the celebration that's coming up?
Yeah, for sure. So, like Don said, this is an awesome thing that we've done, and when we accomplish things, you got to celebrate them. You got to celebrate your successes, and that's what we want to do. We started it off last year. We had a neighborhood watch celebration, and this year we're having another one on October 4th at 6:30 p.m. at Harada Park, and we're partnering with JCSD and allowing us to use the facility there down in the basin, and we'll just have a great celebration. Bring food to share, bring desserts, bring drinks to share. What drinks you decide to bring, that's up to you. But just come out and have a good time. That's what it's about.
Soft drinks.
Soft drinks. Yeah, soft drinks. Red Solo cups. I don't know. You can bring whatever you want. But just come out and have fun. If you don't know what neighborhood you're in, this is a great opportunity to get to know who's in your neighborhood, to get to know your captains, to get to know people in surrounding neighborhoods. I think back in the day, you would know your neighbors. You'd see them at the park, and you'd say hi. You'd go to the park with them. You'd be walking down the street, you'd say hi. I don't think that happens as much anymore. And I think this is a great opportunity that we can do that. We can relax, we can bring our chairs, we can bring our games, and just have a fun time. And that's what this is going to be about, is just celebrating the success of the Neighborhood Watch program that the captains and the residents have done, and just enjoying a Friday night at Harada Park. Once again, October 4th, which is next Friday at 6:30 p.m. We hope to see everyone there.
You know, we don't use it lightly, but we do have a saying that to be part of the solution, and we truly mean that we want you to be part of the solution in joining Neighborhood Watch and getting thoroughly involved. I think we would be remiss if we didn't give a big shout out to Captain Daniel Hedge, who was our captain at the time we started this. I'm not going to say that he put his neck out on the line, but he let us really take Neighborhood Watch and run with it, and he is owed some big kudos. What do you think, guys?
100%. And just to add that, and Don, I don't want to take your things. I'm sure you're going to mention him, but no, absolutely. But also, Lieutenant Martin, who's really carrying the torch and also being constantly supportive of us all the time, and all his deputies and staff members as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Before Captain Hedge left, we had a meeting with him, and he even told us, he said, guys, when you guys started this program, I wasn't too sure what was going to happen. I wasn't sure where you guys were going to go with it, but I just had a feeling that let you guys run with it, and let's take our chances. And like you said, Don, you said it well. I'm very grateful that he did take the chance. He did allow us the opportunity, and grateful for the support that Lieutenant Martin continues to give and assistance throughout this program.
Someone asked a question that I'm going to put up here on the screen, and they wanted to know, will all city council members be attending the October 4th thing? I want to make sure everybody's fully aware of the fact that Brandon and Todd have done this as residents. They haven't done this as city council members. They started this before they got elected. And this isn't part of their council duties. This is part of their passion for the city. They want to see the city do better. And with that being said, we have had spectacular support from every one of our council members, as well as our Public Safety Commission. Anytime we need something, they're always there. Do you guys agree with that statement?
Totally agree with it. And that's the important thing to remember with this is this is more, right now, this is more of a resident program. So this is more, everyone in the city of Eastvale is invited. I would even go out to say that even if there's visitors that want to come check it out, even if there's businesses, business owners that don't live in Eastvale, but they have businesses in Eastvale, you want to come check it out? Come check it out. This is an event for everyone. We hope everyone will be there to celebrate.
Absolutely. You bring up some really good points there, Todd and Brandon. Do either of you guys have any final statements you want to add to the residents about Neighborhood Watch? How about some of the recent successes that we're seeing that the city's investing into our community? Talk a little bit about the license plate readers that have been installed.
Yeah, so we've invested in some technology to help our deputies out, to make them more efficient, right, more effective, and be able to give them opportunities to catch criminals. And so one of that, in our neighboring city, Chino has it fully completed, is the ALPR system camera, which stands for Automated License Plate Reader Cameras. And basically what it does is the council I might get my dates wrong, but let's just say a year ago, we approved, maybe less than a year ago, to have these ALPR cameras through every entry-exit point in the city of Eastvale, and also on six of our patrol vehicles. And in essence, what it does is it doesn't necessarily have an overall view of a CCTV view, and it's not necessarily a license plate reader camera like you would, like the ability to just zoom in and see a license plate. It is truly an ALPR camera, so all it views is license plates. And what it does is it has very sophisticated software that when you go through that light, that street light that traffic light that has an ALPR camera at our entry exit point, it reads the license plates. And a lot of times these license plates are all registered, and they go, hey, stolen vehicle, right? Heading westbound on heading eastbound on Schleidsburg, heading southbound on Hamner, right? And so what it does is it sends that information to all the patrol vehicles, and then they can give the description of the vehicle, and they can go find them and pull them over. It's a stolen vehicle, worn out for arrest, and multiple other reasons. Also, it gives them the ability to, when they go through shopping centers, those cameras can scan those vehicles. All the license plates are going up and down parking lots or aisles in parking lots, and they can also find vehicles that, again, have those type of issues. So it's very effective. We're monitoring pretty closely as far as the success of it. All of them have just been implemented, so we're probably going to start seeing. We know there's been a few successes already with it. But also it's also educating and teaching the process of how to be more effective with it, because there's also a lot of other things that you can do do with those cameras, like catch criminals, catch crime, right? Late at night when they leave the city, you can start scanning all the license plates, if we can understand maybe where they head, or where they, after a crime they might have headed in a certain direction, so we can review that when they cross out of our city. So it's also about educating and instructing our deputies how to use them. Obviously, we wouldn't do that, but we finding that ability to be able to create that. But it's very effective. So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Don.
That's a perfect dovetail over to Todd. Someone asked about our camera database, and Todd, if you would be so kind to share about that and what exactly that is and how people can register their cameras.
Yeah, so I think that I think is another success story, because what that is that's a camera database system that we have created. And what that is you as a resident can go on here, you can put in your contact information. Once again, it's just your contact information. So it's your name, your address, your phone number, your email address. It is not your login information. You're not giving the Sheriff's Department your login information. But what this is this gives them their contact information. And how this is useful, there's been many times we're in the process of shifting and giving that information accessible to the Sheriff's Department. But in the meantime, there's been numerous times that Lieutenant Martin has called me all hours of the night, and he's asked me, hey, Todd, I need the camera, or I need the contacts of people that have cameras on this street within this area right here. And I'm able to send him those contacts, and he's able to get a hold of those people, and they're able to get footage of different crimes that have occurred or different people that they're looking for. And that in of itself has solved a number of crimes, has helped to arrest people. But then also it's just the continuing with the cameras. There are so many of you residents that have cameras that are posting pictures on your neighborhood watch pages. You're posting them on the crime page. And that is helping the sheriff's department. Yes, they don't monitor, but they'll see that every once in a while. But if you have that, if you have a camera, any type of camera, a doorbell camera, a security camera, go ahead and log it on that database, and we can share your contact information with the sheriff's department if something occurs. It's like Brandon said, it's talking about being efficient. We're trying to make our officers efficient in what they do, and this is a tool to help them to be efficient.
Excellent response. Someone just asked what time, and we're kind of getting all across on all the topics, but one of the big things that we stress in Neighborhood Watch as we kind of wrap up that topic is we want you to be a Gladys Kravitz. We want you to be that nosy neighbor, because the nosy neighbor is the one that helps solve crimes. And sometimes we make fun of it and things like that. But along with being the nosy neighbor, we want you to be a good witness. That's probably the most important thing that you can do for the sheriff's department is be a good witness. You really need to be able to identify all the information you can, the make and model of the car, a license plate, even if you can get a couple digits of the plate, what the suspect looks like, the race, their height, their weight, the type of hair, what type of clothes, anything that you can give the dispatcher when you call is going to be crucial. Now, the first thing you do when you see a crime is you call the sheriff's department. Do not go to Facebook. Do not post it on your neighborhood page or the crime page. Go call the sheriff's department. Be a good witness, get all the information you can to help the sheriff's department solve the crime, and then when it's safe to do so, you can post and share for other community members to come alongside and help. But I think that's one of the most crucial things. And, don't worry if you're calling something in. We really want you to exercise the see something, say something, and know that everyone is capable of committing a crime, whether it's a 12-year-old or a 98-year-old, whether it's a boy, whether it's a girl, a man or a woman. Everyone has committed crimes in every age group, and so don't feel bad about giving the exact information you need. And also, the better you know your neighbors, the better it'll make a fun thing. And so I'm going to bring Brandon on right now to tell a little story about a time that he called someone in.
Oh, that's a good story. Yeah, so basically, we kind of knew, the one thing I always try to do is don't be offended. Don't be offended if someone posts something in your neighborhood watch page and say, hey, it's suspicious activity, and then it so happens to be, I don't know, your mother-in-law, your father-in-law, or your cousin.
That's always suspicious, though.
Yeah, whatever. It looks. Don't be offended if you're the person they're calling on an accident, because accidents do happen, and we realize that. So I'll share a story that happened to me. It was on a Saturday night. Remember, it was Saturday night about 9. I can right around 9:30, 10, and someone had said, "Hey, there was someone had threw a beer bottle in our backyard, kind of at our sliding glass door." And basically they called the police and they put it on Facebook. I just kind of said, "What? I know I'm right around the corner. Like I'm just going to hop in and just see if I see any weird activity, someone just running or just whatever, just kind of just to see what's going on. I don't want to make sure I put myself in harm's way, but just want to see if I see anything." So I start driving around, and as you see the post and the threads start happening, like, hey, a man in his 40s, driving a black Jeep Grand Cherokee, looking real suspicious. And of course I'm like, and here's his license plate. And I'm looking, I'm like, oh man, that's me. I'm like, that's not, so I had to very clear, I was really offended. I said I was over 40, so I'm actually, at that time I was 35, but whatever, sensitive to the age. But don't take offense to that. Just give each other's neighbors that are looking out, and it's something to laugh about, but just kind of a fun story.
As we're coming to the end of our time here, there are two really important things that I just posted up here that the community members can use. They're free of charge, and they are a great big asset. And the first one I'm going to ask Todd to talk about, and that's the eCitizen app.
Yeah, so the eCitizen app, it's a very effective app that the city uses, and you can report just about anything within the city. So you can report a stoplight not working, a street light not working, maybe a sprinkler's broken at a park, or maybe your neighbor needs to clean up their yard a little bit. So you can report just about anything. The nice thing with that is going back to efficiencies. Sometimes if you call code enforcement or community enhancement, you call the city and you say, hey, there was a sprinkler that was broken at, I think it was Cedar Creek Park, I'm not sure. And then they write that down and they send someone out to Cedar Creek Park, and on your way home, you think, oh, wait, it was Harada Park. I gave them the wrong park. This way with eCitizen, it does a geo mapping, so you put the location, it'll put the location in right there. You can take a picture of it, you can put all the information in there. So it's a great source that you can use to report things. Once again, to help keep our city clean and help keep it, help us to continue to have the pride that we have here in Eastvale.
Thank you, Todd. And Brandon, why don't you tell everyone about Informed Delivery?
Yeah, so Informed Delivery is a way. So this was kind of a way to combat mailbox theft, or at least to know if you had been a victim of mailbox theft. What Informed Delivery is you can basically go, and I don't know if you have it on there, the website list, but basically
We do.
USPS.com. Okay, and then after that, I wouldn't know where it goes after that. But basically, you can basically get images of all the mail that's being sent to you that day. So if you were a victim of mailbox theft, then you would have an idea of what was being stolen, because everything is being scanned that day of when it gets mailed to you. So you can actually go in, log in, and see all the pieces of mail that were being sent to you. So if you were concerned about, oh man, my information is compromised, at least you can know with certainty what items were actually stolen out. So it kind of gets at least a better comfort level. Not your comfort with your mailbox being stolen, but it gives you a better comfort level. You know that what was taken. So if you need to cancel a certain account, or whether it's your Edison account or whatever, you got to let them know, because that is personal information, or a credit card or whatnot. So, but yeah, it's a very effective tool.
Very good. Well, we're coming to the end of our time. I think I mentioned that one other time here, but and we got a couple pictures of Brandon here. That's pretty funny. I'm not quite sure why that's happening.
I can't see him. I can't even see him.
Brandon can't see him. So
I hope they're okay.
They're wonderful. So someone asked, what time does the celebration end? That's really up to you. When there's no hard, fast time that you have to be there for an hour, 2 hours. We just really want you to get a chance to meet more of your neighbors. Come out and just have a great evening in the park and getting to meet your neighbors. So as we're getting ready to wrap this evening up on Neighborhood Watch, is there anything that either one of you guys would like to close with?
Just the last thing real quick is I know that Brandon and I have done a lot of the talking during this interview this evening, but I just want to thank Don for all that he's done. Don's been a real integral part of the Neighborhood Watch program also. He's the one that's helped us specifically through the social media aspect of it. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have that, and that's an integral part of the Neighborhood Watch program. So we appreciate all that Don's done, but also we appreciate all the residents have done. Like I said before, this program would be nothing without our residents. Our residents have taken this and ran with it, so we appreciate that. Continue to do that. If you aren't involved, get involved. More the merrier, and we look forward to continuing to see the success of this program.
Brandon, you got anything?
Well, Todd pretty much covered it, but I'll just say I want to thank our captains, right? You got to have those leaders there too that help facilitate. I know Todd already covered it with residents, and so residents include our captains as well. I think the more eyes you have out there, the more involvement, the more results, right? And it's simple as that. And we are a neighborhood watch plan with action, right? We're just not sitting there talking about issues. We're trying to deliver results, right? And doing that through, having neighborhood watch signs at every entry exit point of each and every neighborhood, and the CCTV mapping system, right? And being able to have that. So, and there are going to be future projects, right? So it's a system where we can actually get results done. It's an effective way to communicate is through this program. So, excited what lies ahead.
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're at the end of our time. We are going to have a show again next Thursday at 7:30. Please put down in the comments if you think this is a good time to be having the show. Thursday seems to work the best with us being able to get, whether it be government agency employees to come on the show and other subject matter experts. And also put down there in the comments things that you might like to hear about in more detail, and we will make sure that we have those individuals on future shows. And then we'll also try to go through and respond to any comments. I know someone asked if we would put the link in there for the camera database. We will definitely do that for you. Just give us a little bit of lead time to get that in and lag time. But on behalf of Brandon and Todd and myself and Mike, G, David, and Eric, we would like to thank you for tuning in to this first episode of Eastvale Crime Watch and Reporting Live. We hope this is a valuable tool that will help our community grow. Next week, we will be doing our 60 Seconds to Survive, and then the following week, we'll be having Motor Mark on to answer all of your traffic-related questions. So we can't wait for that, and I look forward to seeing many of you at the Neighborhood Watch Celebration. Brandon and Todd, thank you so much for coming on tonight and being part of Eastvale Crime Watch and Reporting Live.
Thanks.